We're okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to. Vice Chancellor, we're not, everybody's going to sit, so we're asking you to do a moment of reflection.
Okay. Colleagues, since the Chancellor said everybody is going to sit, I guess it means me in that as well. I'm going to reflect, I'm going to stand if you don't mind, because I can't
okay.
see everybody. I want to just reflect briefly on a takeaway from today. We spend a lot of time talking about equity, the importance of equity. Equity is at the core of our ESSER plan and regulations. Today we spoke about a subpopulation of our students that have been left out of that conversation. We spent much of the day talking about special ed and students with disabilities, but that population has largely gone unserved, underserved. To the extent that they are underserved, we are underserved. When we have a conversation about equity, it has to be equity for all. Otherwise, when we talk about equity, we're really talking about inequity. And largely that's the case because otherwise we wouldn't have the conversation at all. We have failed students within our special ed population, and that's unfortunate. It's important that we serve all of our students. I hope that we continue to have the conversation about special ed and students with disabilities. I think today we were significant in moving the conversation. I've been on the board since sometime, I guess, April 2012, and I don't remember us having a conversation like we had today. And perhaps that's why we are in the situation that we are in today. I would hope that this conversation remains at the forefront and that we continue to have the conversation. We have to be reminded that we're not simply in the business of moving kids through schools, and we're not in the business of preparing students for tests. The larger mission is preparing students for life. And to the extent that we fail to provide these kids with what they need to not only do well in school, but more importantly, to take on the challenges and rigors of life, then we have underserved them, we have underserved ourselves. I hope that we can continue to think about this and realize that to serve these students is a right for them. And to serve these students well just makes good sense for us.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor.
Thank you.
We have full board consent items for your consideration. The charter application for March 2019, summary of the February 2019 meeting of the Board of Regents. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. So we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now we have the consent items by program area, and we will start with John Degatti with higher education.
Thank you, Chancellor. We have one item, the conferral of degrees for Dowling College and Globe Institute of Technology.
Thank you. Next, we have Beth Berlin with P12 Education.
Thank you, Chancellor. We are asking the Regents to approve the proposed revision to the charter of the Board of Regents Authorized Charter High School of Law and Social Justice.
Thank you. Next, we have Doug Lentovich with Professional Practice.
Thank you, Chancellor. This month we ask approval of one appointment and 9 reappointments to the State Boards for Professions, 2 licensing petitions, 8 requests for the conferral of the MD degree, and a master plan amendment for New York University.
Thank you.
To recuse myself from the last one, the Long Island School of Medicine, because I've been involved with that.
Okay. Allison, do you have that? Yep. Thank you. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we have for your approval, we have the committee reports approval, P12, which all of them are in front of you, cultural education, professional practice. Do I have a motion for approval?
Second.
Thank you. Second, we have. God bless you. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. God bless you. Also for your approval, Phyllis Morris has the State Education Department February 2019 fiscal report. Phyllis?
Thank you, Chancellor. The February fiscal report is presented for your acceptance. All accounts remain in structural balance. We are projecting the cultural education account to end the fiscal year with a negative $2.2 million balance. The report reflects current year plans for 2-year federal grant awards. I recommend that the Board of Regents accept the February 2019 State Education Department fiscal report as presented.
Phyllis, thank you. Thank you. Do I have a motion for approval? So move. Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. And with that, we stand adjourned.